Hi everybody. Welcome to my studio. It's Saturday, February 21st. It's 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And thank you for being with me. This is a flash class, kind of unexpected, but it'll be fun and beautiful. This is a class using one of Stampin' Up's kits called the Butterfly Garden. And my name is Verna Mullen. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator. I live in Western New York State, in the rural part of New York State. It's funny because when we go somewhere, like if we go to another state and people learn you're from New York, they automatically think you're a city person, but that couldn't be farther from the truth. Yeah, we live on a farm. We live in a very rural area. So this is a faith-based card class, cards for hope and encouragement. And as I said before, I'm using the Butterfly Garden Kit. And you will be able to buy the total kit, including that kit, plus the products you need for the cards I'm going to show you tonight. And I'm going to show you the cards also that come in the kit. And I'm just going to go to my project view right now. And we're going to put some light on the subject. If you're on, say hi. Let me know where you're from. Let me know you can hear me okay. I'll try to remember to speak up. And my light is a little wobbly here, but that looks like it's okay. All right. Actually, I've got to move it just a little more here. Sorry about that. Moving some things around. I'm moving some stuff on my floor here. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to show you the kit. The kit comes in a nice Stampin' Up box, and it is on my cart here. I'm just grabbing it. So, and your total kit will be mailed in this box. Everything will be able to fit in here. But this is called Butterfly Garden. It's a new kit. It's called an all-inclusive kit because it has everything in it to make the cards, including the ink, the stamps, and then this is your package. There's even a stamp block in here. All right, it comes wrapped like this. There's everything in here to make 9 cards. And as I said, it's called an all-inclusive kit. Now let me show you some of the things inside that from my kit. All right, it comes with these directions and how to put each card together. And you can see there's 3 different styles, and then a lot of people enjoy doing something different with them, doing something different than what Stampin' Up has suggested here. So there's card number 2, and so it has all the directions for those cards. So what's great to do is take out, this is this particular card here, and I like to take out all the die cut pieces, and then you can put them in each envelope for that particular set. So all of the cards in the yellow or the pink envelope, I've just taken all the pieces out here, and you can see they're down in the envelope to make those cards. So if I can't do them right when I get the kit, everything's together to do later. And this is one of the other cards here, and they have the yellow envelopes, and I've stamped it like that. And this is the other card. So altogether, you can make 9 cards. Isn't that pretty? With this kit. And then I'm going to add 5 more cards, and I'm using scripture verse from Ephesians 2 in the Bible that says you are God's masterpiece. And so we've got these 9 cards, and then there's going to be 5 more cards, and you will get the butterfly garden kit plus everything, the supplies for everything to make the other 5 cards, including a half a pack of the Splash of Sparkles designer series paper. And I really love this, and I'll show you what that looks like. It's really beautiful. It has touches of gold and silver all through it. It's bright and cheerful. This is my little envelope for all the little scrap pieces here. And yeah, say hi. Tell me that you can hear me okay. And looks like my lighting, I might move my light over to this area here so we can see a little better there. But isn't this happy? It's just happy paper. It's got the timid tiger here, bubble bath, pretty in pink, lots of bright, cheerful color. I love this. We're going to be doing a card with that. And I love, there's a strip with all these rainbow colors on it. It's so pretty. Hi, Lori. Hi, Catherine. Hi, Jerry. How are you? Lori, I hope you're feeling better. So, and here's, I've got to order some more for me because I love it so much. But isn't it pretty? It's just so bright and cheerful. And like this one has touches of silver. And this one has touches of gold. But look at this right here. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, so you will get a half a pack of this. And you will get the Butterfly Kisses kit. You will get the ribbon that I use, envelopes for each of the extra cards, the card bases. And then you will get a PDF for these scriptures here, because we're going to use some of these on our cards to encourage others. All right, so we're going to start with our first card here, and I'm going to grab my card box, and this says thanks, but we're going to put on it one of the sentiments in the butterfly set says I'm always here for you, and we're going to do that instead. I really love this card design because it shows off that beautiful designer series paper, and you can see it there on the inside. Isn't that pretty? Pretty, pretty. Okay, I'm moving my lamp over here. Let's see if this looks better. I think it is maybe a little brighter. And dropping my battery pack. Okay. All right, so to make this card, we're going to start with a piece of the designer series paper, and we're using this piece with the balmy blue and the pretty in pink or bubble bath. This is definitely bubble bath on this side here. And we have a piece that is 6 by 5 1/4. So it's 6 inches this way, 5 1/4 this way. And you will also get a PDF tutorial in your kit if you buy the kit. So we need to do some scoring on this, and I'm bringing in my trimmer, and we have a scoring blade here, and we have a cutting, or the scoring blade is the light blade here. The cutting blade is the darker blade. All right. So on the longest side, the 6-inch side here, we're going to score this at 4 inches. So I'm lining this up on the 4, and I'm just running this blade lightly on there like that. It is shiny and fun. You're doing okay. That's good. I keep waiting to get a cold. I haven't had one this winter, but you know, springtime comes and usually there's a cold along the way. All right, so I'm going to fold it. I want this on the inside. I want this on this bright and cheery piece on the outside, okay? And now we're going to take our card base, which is 5.5 by 4, and I'm just going to adhere this flap onto that card base. So I'm folding that small flap over. I'm going to add my adhesive to it. And we're going to put that on there. So you will have a little bit of an edge here and on each side all the way around. Okay, there's a frame there. All right. And so now we're going to add a piece on the inside. And I'm going to add a piece that's 5 by 3 3/4 here. But before I add that, I'm just going to do some stamping with the large butterfly here. I'm bringing in Bubble Bath. And you could use Pretty in Pink too. They both would go with it. We'll do a butterfly here. And, uh-oh, that didn't come out very good. My ink pad is a little bit dry. And we'll do that. We'll put that right there, okay? And oh my goodness, I forgot to clean my stamp. So there's a tiny bit of blue. It actually doesn't look that bad. I'm going to try restamping on top of that. This is when we need our new Stampin' Positioner tool. Let's see if I can line this up by eyeballing it. If I don't, I will just add another layer on top of it. Yeah, not good. All right, let's turn this over. I forgot I hadn't glued it down. All right, let's redo this. All right, we'll give that a good push on there. And now with our little butterfly, we'll put him going this way. Okay, that's better. Close this up so it doesn't dry out anymore. Now we're going to layer this onto here. And we're going to have a little bit of an edge going all the way around. So we're going to go down a little bit from, I don't know if you can see the Designer Series paper there at the top. I'll move this over just a bit. So see the cardstock, DSP, and then the card base. And I've got a little bit of an edge on that base. Probably my blade needs to be changed. I'm just going to go like that with a bone folder, and that will flatten that right down. So we've got our inside done. And I'm going to come back to the front here. I'm going to grab a piece of washi tape because this sliding around is annoying me and probably annoying you guys too. So I'm going to grab washi tape. Okay, and I'm just going to put that on my glass mat that way, and hopefully it'll hold it in place better. We'll put one over here. Okay, so to decorate our two sides, we're going to take a doily from our lovely doilies, and I want to use the white. I'm just turning the red over so no one can see the bright red. And we're going to cut this in half. So I'm lining up a heart here and a heart there. I'm going to start in the middle cutting because this is so thin. If you start on the edge, it's going to bend it. All right, we'll bring this back. And I'm just going to add little dots of glue here. You could take a sponge. I don't have one at the moment, but if you like put glue on your sponge and just rub it all over the back of your doily or whatever you're trying to adhere down. That works really good too because it gives it a thin coverage all over. All right, and let's add this one here. I'm just adding these little dabs of glue with my glue gun. And now, whoops, we don't want to go that way. We want to go this way. And you want to try to line it up so it's right directly across from this other one. So these are matching pretty well there. Okay, and now I've got a, and the doily will come in your kit. This will come in your kit. I'm gonna add a little bit of ink, splatter of ink to this. And I'm gonna use Bubble Bath. I'm gonna grab a piece of scrap paper and put this down on here. And I'm just going to take this, the brush tip end. There's a bullet tip and then a brush tip. And I'm going to go like this and add some little splatters of ink to that. Like that. Now we're going to stamp our sentiment. And I think I will use basic gray. And we're going to use that sentiment that says here for you always, or always here for you. I'm always here for you. All right. And I'm going to stamp that at the top here. I'm always here for you. And then let's add a butterfly right below that. And I think I will use, I'll use Pretty in Pink on this one. Does anybody have this kit, the Butterfly Garden Kit? It's so pretty and nice this time of year when we're thinking about spring and green things and warm sunshine, all those good things. I'm always here for you. And we're going to add some dimensionals to the back of this. I'm at the end of a sheet here, so we'll grab another one. In your kit also there's a thing of dimensionals. It comes in your Butterfly Garden Kit. So we'll add a couple of these. It also has some really pretty white gems. Let's bring our card back in here. And we'll put this right here. I'm always here for you. Like that. And let's add some of those little white gems. If Verna can find her gems. What did I do with them? I might have put them back in the kit. Oh, let's take a look here. Yep, there they are. All right, so I'm going to add, I think one here, and we'll put one over here, and one up a little bit from that right there. Move this over just a little bit. And let's add a little bit of pink color to those. So I'm going to use the brush tip. You just want to be careful you don't get down on your cardstock. You can see there's just a faint shade of pink there. So the kit, so I will include an envelope for this card, all the die cuts, the doily, and you will get a half a pack of the Splash of Sparkles plus the Butterfly Garden Kit and your postage and the PDF tutorial plus this. It's $49. So Not bad for all of that. All right, so here is card number 1. Let's go on to card number 2. This card is going to be a little bit different with its color. We're going to focus on the coral and orange. And this is our card here. We still have I'm always here for you. And our card is going to lift up like this. Oh, I forgot. I put a glue dot in here for when I took a picture of it for the PDF to hold it down. All right, so let's try that again. So it lifts up like this. All right, this is a really cool fun fold card, easy to do. We'll bring in our pieces here. And we'll turn the trimmer around. All right, so I have a piece that's 8.5 by 5.5, and I'm going to score it at 1 1/4. And this is going to be my front right here. This is going to be my front. So I want it on this side. I know, and I'm using this side of the trimmer. Let me move it down so you can actually see what I'm doing. I've got it at 1 1/4. I'm going to slide these back up, and I've scored it right here at 4 1/4, and I'm going to cut up to that score line, which is right there. All right. I'm going to fold these down, and we will burnish them. All right, we're going to decorate our card with a beautiful splash of sparkles. And I have a strip here I'm going to add onto our thin little piece on the end. Right there. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to adhere this down to the card base. So I'm going to bring in my glue gun and just add adhesive here. I want to line that up better there. Okay, and this is going to be open here. I have a piece of cardstock that I'm going to layer in there. And you know what? Actually, we'll come back to that. We're going to layer this first. Let's see, which way do we want this? This is 4 by 4. I think I'll put it this way. And look at the back of that. Isn't that pretty? It's like a bokeh pattern. And that will center nicely right within that square there. And I'm going to grab a piece of Timid Tiger, the ribbon. Okay, I don't know what I did with, oh, I've got some over here. No, I don't. I can't find it. Let me look on my cupboard here. Oh my goodness. Where did it go? Okay, we're not using the Timid Tiger ribbon. Let's see what else we've got here. I'm sure I'll find it laying here. We'll use, I could use a peach pie. Maybe that's what I'll use. Okay. Peach pie coming up. It's not quite as pretty as the Timid Tiger, but we'll go for it with this. You think you're all prepared for Facebook Live, and then you just never know. You kind of have to roll with it. All right, so I want my bow to be, or my tails to be in the center here. I'm going to turn this over like this. And I'm just going to tie a knot. I'm going to hold that there and bring my loop in. All right, and let's trim our ends here. Something stuck, looks like plastic stuck on the scissors, and we'll trim this one. So we've got our little knot there. And let's bring in our, we're gonna stamp onto this piece here, and I am gonna use a Stampin' Positioner for this. Okay, this is free if you buy a starter kit until the end of the month. You get this in your starter kit free. It's about a $50 value, so that is really, really cool. And the reason I'm using it is because, frankly, my black ink is kind of dry, and I just want to make sure I get a good stamped image on this. I want to stamp this so the butterfly's down here, but there's a little natural space here. You can put, this fits between these two pegs here and helps hold it in place. And I'm going to use that. So my butterfly is going to go on here like this. And then our sentiment is going to be stamped at the top. All right, so I'm going to move my magnets right here. And this is like a $50 value. I think it's $49. The grid paper you buy separate. It has this small plate that I'm going to use right now, and then it has a larger plate. And this is free just this month if you buy your starter kit. The starter kit is, you pick $125 worth of product and you only pay $99. You do not have to do the business. You can just enjoy being a hobby demonstrator. So it's a really cool deal. Even if you just have a long list and you want to get the deal on getting products at a lesser price, plus get the Stampin' Positioner. This is a great, great deal. Okay, so I've inked my butterfly up and I'm turning this over. There's two little holes right here. I'm going to put them on there and we're going to stamp that butterfly right where I have positioned it. So I'm pressing down on that, and let's make that a little bit darker. We'll ink that up again on there. We'll bring this back and hook that onto there, and we're going to stamp that again. All right, so there is a very nice butterfly. And he's a little bit, maybe it should have been up a little more, but it's just because of me trying to look sideways at that. But it's good enough. We're going with it. And let's color him in a little bit. Whoops. Sorry about that. See, this is peach. I'm going to grab Timid Tiger. And Daffodil Delight. This is dark Timid Tiger. Lori, maybe you know, I don't know on the markings on Monarch where the different colors are. I know Lori Longwell releases Monarch butterflies, so I'm always fascinated at her pictures that she posts, and she's an absolute wonderful stamper, a demonstrator. If you're not following Lori's page, you want to follow her page. Lori Longwell. Okay, so we're going to come down here. And we're going to fill that in right there, like that. Let's add some Daffodil Delight. We'll color in our right there. These. And then I'm going to also leave, I'm going to leave a little bit of white. And this is Peach Pie. This is a little lighter. Let's go with Peach Pie down here. There, and we will call that good. I can move the positioner out. We're going to ink up our sentiment and stamp that at the top here. Here for you always. If I can find it. Oh, here it is. I'm always here for you. All right. We'll put that on there. Okay, and then I'm just gonna come in with dimensionals and put it just on this side of the back here. Because if we put it on the whole back, it will hold the whole thing down and you won't be able to open it, which will not be good. So let's see, we want it on this side here. And I think I'll add 2 more, like right here. Okay, so here we go. We're going to layer that on there like that. So I'm here for you always. And then on the inside here, I'm going to grab a piece of basic white. And we're going to cut this 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. Or you can do 4 by 4. Whichever floats your boat. Let's stamp a couple butterflies on this. And let's use yellow. I'm using Daffodil Delight. Do one there. And one like that. And now we'll add this to the inside of our card. Oops, wrong card. Here we go. And this one I think is 4 by 4, which I think I like that better, the 4 by 4. So there is, oh, we need our gems. Let's add our dots here. We'll put one here and maybe one right above it there. And I could use the take your pick tool. I could get it in the right position better that way. And let's color these gems. This is a dark timid tiger. Okay. There's card number 2. And card number 3. Card number 3, we are using the printout, You Are God's Masterpiece. We're going to start with a piece of bubble bath that is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, and I'm burnishing that down. And onto that, I'm layering a piece of the gold foil. Now you could, actually let's layer our printout to the gold foil first. You could cut out the center of this, but I'm afraid because this is on paper, just copy paper, that it would show through on the other side. So I did not do that. And you want to make sure your glue or your adhesive is very thin. You could print this out on cardstock, and I didn't think about it to do that. I probably should have done that. I'm just going to center this on here like this. The other thing with your foil is you want to be careful with that you don't get glue on it where it's going to show, because it smudges on the foil and it's hard to get it cleaned off of it. All right, so we're gonna, I've got our bubble bath ribbon here. I've got a long piece, and I'm just gonna take it and I'm gonna wrap it a couple times around this, like that. And I'm gonna tie a knot, so I need to cut that. I've got it way too long. Way too long. All right, so we're gonna wrap it. We've wrapped it twice, and then I'm gonna tie a knot here, trying to make sure it's straight. Okay, and this one isn't straight. There we go. And we'll tie a knot. Hopefully. There we go. Like that. I'm going to trim these. And then I want to cross one of these over the other. Let's try doing it this way. Oh, it came undone. How lovely. I wonder if I cut it. Let's try this again. It's going to be short. Let's see if I can do it. We have on the farm here, we have sheep that are due with little lambs in about 4 weeks, so that'll be fun. I expect that we might have orphan lambs. We will bottle feed, so that'll be interesting and busy. All right, so that is down like that. And we're going to add this to our card front. Oh, I forgot to stamp on it. Oh, bugs. Well, we'll do a little stamping. All right, so this is going to be on the front here, like this. I'm going to move this down just a little bit, like that. And I'm going to add a glue dot right under that right there to hold that in place. I'm grabbing my glue dots. All right. Here's my take your pick tool, and I'm just going to add it right there. So that holds that in place like that. And let's add some gems to this. This one goes together pretty good if you don't have trouble with your knots, like I did. We'll put that like that, and I'm looking for my Stampin' Blend marker. Let's add some pink to these. That one wants to move. It's pretty just with the white too. All right, that's just a faint white there. All right, let's bring in our butterflies. So I'm gonna, I don't know if I can stamp one down there or not. We will see what happens here. And maybe, you know what I might do? I might lightly stamp one like right there. So I'll bring in my scrap paper here and bring in the bubble bath, and let's stamp, ink it up and then stamp off. So it's going to be very, very light. You are God's masterpiece. We'll stamp one there. I don't even know if we can see that one. And let's put one up here. Yeah, that's pretty. And then I'm going to move that up. I'm going to put one right there. And let's add another one in the center here. Okay, so the bubble bath is light enough that you can do that with it and not mess up your printout there. And there's our butterflies on the bottom. You are God's masterpiece, created with a purpose. And then we'll add our inside piece here. You will get the inside pieces from me. An envelope. So that one I like. I like how that turned out. This is the other one I did earlier today. I had the butterflies in the corner there. So, okay, card number 3 is done. Card number 4 is a fun fold card. I'm going to bring my trimmer in. Okay, this is that paper. This is my favorite pattern in that paper. I just love it, the design, the colors, the splashes of color there. All right, so this is 12 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to do some scoring on this. All right, we're going to score this. Our first score mark is at 1 1/2. Trying to think, 1 1/2, 4 1/2, and 7 3/4. Okay, 1 1/2. Then 4 1/2, which is right here. And 7 3/4. I just lost my blade. Okay. I will get that in a little bit. All right, so we're going to gently fold this. And I love this too. Isn't that pretty? So, so pretty. This will go this way. This will go this way. And this is going to fold this way here. So lots of interesting colors there. I love this. Really love that. All right, I'm just refreshing my page so I can make sure I see your comments here. There we go. Okay. Hi, Kathy. Well, there's a lot of comments I didn't see. Kathy, Lori, and okay. So we've got this like this, and we're gonna layer this onto a piece of cardstock. And I was going to use the Summer Splash. No, this is the green. And you know what? I don't really like it with that now. And we need to cut, so I'm going to cut 1/4 inch off here. So it's going to be 11 3/4 by 5 1/4. Right? And I'm going to cut a different color of, I think I'll do the Azure Afternoon there. So we're going to cut 1/4 inch off here. Oh, and I lost my blade on the floor. All right, we'll get a new blade. Grabbing a new blade. I think these are out of stock right now. Hopefully they'll be back in stock soon. I'll have to find the blade before the dog comes down here. And I can't remember if the blade's on first but we're going to put it down here below the scoring blade. All right, so 1/4 inch off. So it's 11 3/4 by 5 1/4. There, that's better. All right, and so this is going to be, yep, that's just the way I want it. And I'm going to grab a piece of Azure Afternoon. We have one more card to go. And this is going to be 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. I made Spanish rice for supper before my life, so we'll have that to eat tonight. It's funny because how our taste change as we get older, because when my mom made it when we were growing up, I was like, oh, but now I love it. I love onions, and now as I'm older, any kind of vegetables really, but as a kid, it's funny how your tastes change. Okay, this is going to go right on our base like this. All right, isn't that pretty? Now I'm going to glue this down. You don't have to. You can decorate it with it not glued down, but I'm going to glue that flap right on there. Okay, and I'm bringing in a doily. Here's our doily. It's a bubble bath color, and the doily is going to be centered right on the center of the card here. So again, I'm just adding little dots all the way around like this, because you don't want it oozing through your little die cut hearts and dots they've got here. Okay, so we're going to lay that down. So that looks pretty centered on either side, and it looks pretty good top to bottom. Whoops, if Verna doesn't move it. There we go. And then I'm going to use You Are God's Masterpiece. Okay, I've cut this out with a circle. All right, and that is going to go right here. But first I want to faintly stamp a butterfly on it. And I think I'll use the Lemon Lolly for this one. Lemon Lolly. Oh, that's daffodil, darling duckling. Well, where is the lemon lolly? All right, I'll use the daffodil delight, and I'm just gonna stamp off because I don't want it super bright. So we need our large butterfly, which is hidden here on my cupboard. Here's a small one. Large butterfly, where did you go? I don't know. Oh, here it is. It was on the Stampin' Positioner. I'm just wiping that off. I'm bringing this back in. We'll put it on our block here. All right, so Daffodil Delight, I'm going to ink that up. And stamp off once, and then I'm going to stamp over this, You Are God's Masterpiece. Now that is super light. I wonder if I want to stamp it again. I'm going to stamp it again. Hopefully I can stamp over it without it messing it up. Okay, not bad. So You Are God's Masterpiece, and that is going to go right here. And again, light glue. If you're using, if you print it out on regular copy paper, you want to be careful about that. Not using too much glue. Okay, so there is our You Are God's Masterpiece. And then on the inside here, I have a piece that's cut with a textured notes die. This is the other one I did. All right, so this is going to layer right in here like this. Okay, and let me move that up a little bit. You Are God's Masterpiece. I think I'm liking it. I don't know, I think I like the blue better. And then we'll add some of our dots there. And you can print these out, these verses out on your cardstock. If you can do that on your printer, I would recommend doing that. And I'm just going to leave these ones white because there's so many different colors going on there. All right, so that's card number 4. And our last card, let's grab that last card. All right, so we have a piece of Azure Afternoon, 8.5 by 5.5. And I'm just folding that in half, and I'm going to burnish it with a bone folder. All right, I'm going to cut a piece of this paper here that's scrap at 4 by 5. And I will show you why. 4 by 3. All right, and then I'm going to cut it on the diagonal because I'm going to use this for a mask for stamping on the center of this card. I'm bringing this card back in, or the card base. I'm going to open it up. And I have 2 pieces of designer series paper that are going to layer on the front like this. But for right now, I want to layer them. Actually, let's go the other way. Let's see. Let's do this way. And what I want to, the reason I'm doing this is I want to stamp butterflies in this space here. And I don't want them out in here really. And I want to make sure I've got all the space covered. So I'm going to bring in the small butterfly. I'm wiping off the large butterfly. And here's the small butterfly. And I'm going to use Azure Afternoon for the stamping in the center there. And I'm just going to hold these down with my, oops, and that's what I did, with my fingers. I'm going to move this back up to about where I wanted it. And you could put glue dots down if you wanted to. I'm just holding them with my hand. Let's do this one like this. Okay, so we've got that done. And I'm gonna bring in the DSP for this. So I have a piece here that's 4x3. I'm gonna cut it in half on the diagonal. Like this. Bring it down so you guys can see it. And I should start, if you're cutting a thin or flimsy piece, you should start in the center. Luckily it was okay. It did not turn out bad with me doing it that way. All right, and this is going to layer on here like this. And I don't mind, I like that line there. And we'll, the bottom part will go like this, okay? All right, I have a piece of gold foil, and actually see, it's not going to matter a whole lot because most of that isn't going to show. And I could bring it up and stamp more on the edge there. I think I will. We'll do it this way. Okay. All right, I'm going to leave that out because I'm going to put this aside. And I'm bringing this in, and I'm going to add just a little bit of Azure Afternoon around it. You are God's masterpiece. All right, and I'm going to stamp some butterflies. I'm using the small butterfly, and I'm just going to stamp at the bottom like this with the wing going over a little bit over the edge on each side, like that. And I'm going to do that at the top. Whoops, that one I didn't go over far enough. I should have gone over a little farther on that one. All right, so this is going to layer to the gold. What did I do with the gold? Okay, and I'm going to use glue. Like that. We're going to bring this in and we're going to pop this on with dimensionals. So this kit, in your kit, if you purchase this from me, you will get a half a pack of the Splash of Sparkle Designer Series paper. You will get everything to make the extra 5 cards that are not in the Butterfly Garden kit. There are the ingredients to make 9 cards in that kit. So you would have 14 cards altogether. You will also get the Butterfly Garden kit, a PDF tutorial, your postage, which is getting really expensive, and your PDF tutorial plus this video, and your ribbon, your gems will be in the Butterfly Garden kit, that all-inclusive kit. And it's $49, so I have a link in the description, but I will be sending out an email about it tonight. And if you're not on my email list and you'd like to be, I will post a link for that also. So this is a hope and encouragement class. We'll do that, and we'll do this one this way. And this goes on the inside here. You will also get the envelopes. I probably already said that, but all right, so that is card number 4 or 5. This is card number 4 here. Card number 3. Card number 2. And well, I've got the order mixed up, but this is the other card here. So the 5 cards plus the butterfly kit cards. I hope you've enjoyed this, and thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Happy weekend. So I hope you have a good evening and a good rest of the weekend. Bye now. I'm going to sign off. Take care.